Vegas Scoreboard Express, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 6 on AM 1400 KSHP North Las Vegas. Online at KSHP.com.
Keep it locked with your boy on the ones and twos. Going in on the wheels of steel.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball.
This is it. The cocaine and the crack. You don't sound ashamed of me. There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. That's how I'm living.
That's how we do it. That's just the way it is. That's the reason why I came to you.
Drink and women and money.
Good morning, Las Vegas. All my sports bettors around the world, you know what time it is. Time to wake up early in the morning and grab your bankroll. It is JB the Ticket. I'm your host and boss of the big board here, live on KSHP AM 1400 Vegas Scoreboard Express. You know what time it is, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday morning. Locking in for your sports betting weekend. Happy Easter to everybody out there. Happy Passover weekend. Wanted to make sure that everybody knows that JB the Ticket is hoping that you get what you want today and eat good and be time, with your family and just do everything that you are looking to do. Also want to give a shout out to all my folks celebrating Ramadan. One of my listeners yesterday was like, don't forget about us. I was like, I didn't, my guy. All right, so today the NBA is shaping up to be pretty exciting. We've got a lot of NBA games coming on today. This Sunday, Easter Sunday, April 9th, 2023. You guys are going to want to stay tuned for it. I got my main man, Ron, Third Down Best Bets, going to be giving you some more grease yesterday. Put some cash in your pocket with that Utah Jazz money line play, so you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. Going to be bringing in my man, Scotty Beam Him Up Webb from the East Coast Sports Investors and MLBDaily.com. Giving you all your baseball picks for today and getting you set up for that season. Definitely want to check that out. And then finishing it out, got my man Parnell St. True. That's right, from Sports PSP. One of the newcomers to VSX, working his way up the contributor board. Going to be talking to you a little bit of NBA and some more NBA draft stuff. So you guys want to stay tuned today. All basketball, all money, all sports, no bull. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. You know what time it is. Time to grab your bankroll, hit the window, and beat the line. Get up, people. It's early in the morning.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JBTHETICKET. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
As a 3-time international award-winning restaurant, Joe's New York Pizza uses only the freshest and best available ingredients. From giant slices of hand-tossed pie to calzone, strombolis, fingers, and wings, Joe's serves all your favorites. Stop in for a slice at one of their 2 Las Vegas locations at Paradise and Harmon or South Las Vegas Boulevard, or you can check out their menu at joesnewyorkpizzalv.com.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
More fire, more heat.
This mix is rude.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball.
That's right, Las Vegas. All my sports bettors around the world. You're back rocking with the boss of the big board. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, live on KSHP AM 1400 every Saturday and Sunday morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. You guys are going to want to turn it up. Wake up early in the morning and grab your bankroll, hit the window, and beat the line. Happy Easter, happy Passover weekend, happy Ramadan season for all my listeners out there here in Las Vegas and around the world. Bringing him on the line with me right now, my main man, Ron, Third Down, Best Bets, VSX Digital Sports contributor, giving you some grease this morning on the NBA. Happy Easter to you, Ron. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. Happy Easter to you and everybody out there.
That's what I'm talking about. And again, you guys are going to be able to watch these games on Fubo TV. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, Fubo TV, over at FuboTV.com/JB. I'm giving you 15% off your first month, making sure that you keep these games on your wire. You don't want to start getting stuck out there missing out on games because you got the wrong cable package. NBA playoffs is starting. Money is to be made. And again, talking with me today, my main man, Ron, Third Down, Best Bet. So yesterday, we did give out a winner early in the morning, the Utah Jazz. Home dog pulling it off, rotation number 524, beating the Denver Nuggets, already in the playoffs, looking like they're going to get the number 1 seed in the West. But Utah, not playoff bound, was able to pull out that dog win, 118-114, putting cash in your pocket. So, Ron, yesterday you were telling the folks Utah is not the team that you thought they were, making the trades away from their 2 superstars in Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, but somehow was able to stay in that playoff hunt. And they're a pretty decent team, and yesterday was able to put some cash in your pocket. Covered the spread, plus 10, plus 9.5, 13.5 was their cover on it, but most importantly, they got you the money line. So like I said before, Ron, talk to us a little bit about what you saw yesterday to help these fans understand what you're seeing in basketball so we can put cash in their pocket for this NBA playoff season. Go ahead.
Yeah, Utah, they made, even more trades to get at the trade deadline after the big trade, and they still stay competitive. I mean, they have a real good thing building there, actually. They're a tough little team. I'd like to see them next year after they stop dumping everybody and actually start building.
Well, they're probably trying to do it on the Moneyball line, trying to keep it cheap, get some of this young talent in there. But again, most importantly, yesterday, these guys were able to take down that money line. Plus, 360 was what it was on William Hill, 250 as it went on into the game, but they were able to get it for you. Also, another game yesterday that was a very tough game. Didn't understand what happened, but San Antonio Spurs, man, terrible. Animal control was on patrol. Dogs were trying to bark, but couldn't get you there. Lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves at home, 151-131. Like you said before, San Antonio on the downswing. Popovich looking like he might be on his way out with a 20-point loss at the end of the season, already out of playoff contention. What do you think is going to go on in San Antonio land, especially looking up to the draft coming up in June? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance he takes off this year. I mean, it's definitely coming. If it's not this year, it's next year. I mean, they had some players. They traded away DeJuan Murray. He was a pretty good player. That was their big gun. They traded him away at the trade deadline. So if they would have kept him, I would have said he'd probably stay. But I think they're in rebuild mode. But they've got some good young players. But San Antonio ain't going to be known for a while.
There you go. And rounded out yesterday's action, the Portland Trail Blazers again losing on the road. Thought that was a dog that was barking, but animal control was on patrol. Went down to L.A. and lost 125-136. Again, the Portland Trail Blazers yesterday, rotation number 527, losing to the Clippers on the road, rotation number 528. L.A. Clippers still keeping a strong showing going into the Western Conference playoffs. So just talking about another team on the downswing, possibly trading away their star, and Damian Lillard. What do you think is going to happen over in Portland? Damian Lillard, he's been shut down for possibly, I think, the last month or so. So, I mean, maybe he's wanting to get out of there already. We're kind of seeing that. But from your perspective, Ron, what do you think is going to happen going forward with Portland? Because, again, they're a team on the downswing, not winning a lot of games, not getting to the playoffs over the last 3-4 seasons. Rebuild mode, start picking up guys through the draft, international players. What do you think? Go ahead.
Well, from my perspective, I think Damian Lillard going to Dallas for future cash considerations would be the best move for everybody, but that's just my perspective. But I see that it's time to move on. It's really time to move on. I thought the Lakers for a while, but I don't see him going to L.A. now with Gingerbread playing well, staying healthy, LeBron playing good. There's just no room for him. But I always wondered about Golden State. He's from Oakland. Nobody's ever mentioned that. Could you imagine him in Golden State?
No, I just don't think that, having him and Steph Curry sharing the ball, I mean, they both kind of play the same way. Lillard, a little more of an attack slasher type guy. But, pairing these guys up would be a disaster. Two similar players, similar height, similar game style, just not the best thing that you want to see. But moving into the L.A. Clippers, looking like these guys are trying to lock up that 5 seed in the West, picking up that win yesterday again versus the Portland Trail Blazers at home. Kawhi Leonard back off of the milk carton, 27 points in the outing yesterday. He's showing why he can continue to be valuable. And then, again, the feast or famine guy, Russell Westbrook, picking up another 20-point performance. So going into the playoffs, how do you think the L.A. Clippers are going to fare in that Western Conference? Again, you know, Russell Westbrook, their starting two-guard, feast or famine with him, doing pretty well with Eric Gordon, but I do worry a little bit about Eric Gordon because he only had 5 points yesterday. And also you had Nick Powell off the bench with 23. So the Clippers seem to be kind of doing it by committee. But as far as dominance, that's a big two. Do you think Kawhi Leonard and Russell Westbrook are going to be a problem in those Western Conference playoffs coming up very, very soon? Again, watch them on Fubo TV. Go over to FuboTV.com/JB. I'm hooking you up, blowing up that cable bill, saving you a ton of money. And if it is your birthday, you definitely can pick up that 15%. So tell me what you think about those Clippers. Go ahead.
Yeah, they have an interesting combination, in my opinion. If they keep gelling like they're doing and doing it by committee, they could be a problem. I don't see them winning the NBA championship. I don't see them getting to the finals in the Western Conference. I think maybe second round would be their peak, but they could be a factor, yes. They could be, but I don't see them winning at all.
Well, there you go. You heard it here. Ron, Third Down Best Bets. Follow him on Instagram at RaiderHawk1. Let's move into some of the action that we have on the line today. Again, you guys can check out these games on Fubo TV. Get Fubo TV. Don't get cabled. FuboTV.com/JB. Hooking up the sponsors for you this Easter Sunday. Again, shout out to everybody celebrating your holiday weekend. So talking about it early on in the morning, rotation number 535, the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Boston Celtics on the road. Boston Celtics at home, rotation number 536. Boston -6, total 227.5. So let's talk a little bit about this from the perspective of NBA playoff implications. You're talking about these Boston Celtics really trying to hang in there in the Eastern Conference. Number 2 seed. If they lose today, there could be some wiggle room with the 76ers, possibly. But again, sticking with these Boston Celtics, do you think that Jason Tatum has finally stepped into his own as the leader of this team? And do you think he can possibly bring the Celtics back to the Eastern Conference Finals? Go ahead, Ron.
Yes and yes. He's had a really good year. I'm very impressed with him. He's good player. Yes and yes. I agree. He can. He can do both.
Now, talking about these Atlanta Hawks, looking at the playoff picture, you know, these guys coming in, possibly scraping in that number 8 seed, but there has been a little bit of trouble with their star over, what's that young kid, Young. So, I mean, when you talk about him possibly wanting to get out of there and then not wanting to, you know, kind of be the leader, if you will, on that organization, where do you think the Atlanta Hawks are going to fare? Because, again, if you have a player like Trae Young, dynamic guard, wanting to get out of there, what do you see going forward with these guys in the playoffs possibly? Go ahead.
Well, I remember 2 years ago when he came in and he basically just started to run with it. And, man, he took it over, and we haven't seen that player since. I'm wondering where he's at. I mean, if he comes back, they could make a run. Not enough talent to win it. Not enough talent to get to the Eastern Finals. But, yeah, he's a great player. They need to put people around him and quit this trade talk everywhere, trade speculation. Just get him out and move forward.
Well, I mean, if it is to be, the Atlanta Hawks probably are going to be able to get somebody decent in the draft. But I'm telling you right now, the Hawks are a little bit too feast or famine for me. And if you're going off of a player like Trae Young, unhappy, you really can't put any money to bet on them. Now, talking about today's line, if you want to talk about it, the Atlanta Hawks +6, +210 on the money line. Do you think they got anything to prove? They really do have to win this game to stay in that number 8 spot and try to get out of that playoff or play-in thing that the NBA is doing. I mean, I don't know. They do got a lot of college kids coming in, guys that should be 3-4 year players in college coming in more seasoned, but these guys are coming out with that one and done and overseas stuff. So they got to kind of tailor it to these college players, if you will. But again, talking about these Atlanta Hawks, do you think that 210 is going to be valuable today? Can you put some money on them?
Yeah. Don't look at the fight for a playoff spot. If it wasn't for that, I'd say go Boston all the way. But in feast or famine, like you said, they got to win this game.
Got to win it. +210 on the money line. Ron's telling you that the Hawks got to do what they got to do to put that cash in their pocket and in your pocket. Again, you guys can get these games over at betus.com, giving you a 125% bonus for your initial deposit. Sign up. Doesn't cost you very much. I think you can get in there with maybe $10 if you're a cheap bet, $100 if you want to go ahead and bet a unit. When we come back, going to be talking more NBA. Got the Orlando Magic, Miami Heat, Washington Wizards, Houston Rockets, 76ers, Brooklyn Nets. That should be an interesting matchup. So, again, you guys keep it locked and stay tuned. Ron, you got any shout-outs before we take this short commercial break? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. From our super fan, brother. Taylor couldn't do today. She's got a bad toothache. She's listening at home right now.
Couldn't even hear you right then, Ron. Sounds like you were drinking the coffee. But, again, we'll come back from this short commercial break. We'll get your shout-out and get back into this NBA. And you guys keep it locked here. KSHP AM 1400. Want to give a shout-out to my main man, Mark Hayes, putting it together. Want to give a shout-out to all of you listeners out there. Happy Easter weekend, happy Passover weekend, and happy Ramadan season for all my listeners enjoying their religious holidays. If you don't think God bets, read the book of Job. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. You know what time it is. Time to grab your bankroll, hit the window, and beat that line. Let's get it.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that green. Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
The National Atomic Testing Museum is a national science, history, and educational institution that tells the story of America's nuclear weapons testing program at the Nevada test site. Located at 755 East Flamingo Road, just east of Paradise, the museum offers immersive, interactive experts for guests of all ages. The museum is Smithsonian certified and open 7 days a week. For more information, visit nationalatomictestingmuseum.org. That's nationalatomictestingmuseum.org.
When you bring your vehicle to Star Auto Care for maintenance, you'll have a team of professionals at your service. Every one of our technicians has been factory trained and master status certified to ensure that you receive the highest quality and most effective service. Star Auto Care is located at 3540 East Tropicana Avenue, just east of Pecos. Star Auto Care is confident in their prices and will match any mechanic located within 20 miles. Bring your vehicle in today and let Star Auto Care give you the peace of mind you deserve when you service your car. Visit them online at starautocare.us.
Keep it locked with your boy on the ones and twos. Going in on the wheels of steel.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball.
This is it. The cocaine and the crack. They all sound the same to me. There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from.
That's how I'm living. That's how we do it. That's just the way it is. That's the reason why I came to you. Drink and women and money.
Waking you up early in the morning, back on the line with you, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, live on KSHP AM 1400, VSX Digital Sports Networks. You guys be sure to get your advertising here, KSHP, VSX Digital Sports Network. Follow me on Instagram at JB the Ticket. Follow the show on Twitter at We Beat the Line. And, of course, get over to my website, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Got the daily deals for you. Bringing him back on the line, my main man, Ron Third Down Best Bets. Again, you can follow him on Instagram at RaiderHawk1. So, Ron, talking back to you, bringing you back on the line, talking this NBA. Now, big-time game today in the Eastern Conference. Got some Eastern Conference playoff seeding implications. Talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. Give a shout-out to Linwood, Hard Rock, Hamilton. Hope you're doing good, my man. Haven't heard back from you. It's probably out there spending cash somewhere, but you never know. But, Ron, talking about these Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid is coming to his own as the focal star of that team after trading some folks away. Still got James Harden kicking around. Unfortunately, he can't do any more of that cheating. No more of those fake threes, fake fouls, 4-point plays. That's why he's averaging a pedestrian 20 points a game. But, again, Philadelphia 76ers plus 3.5 on the road going up to the hapless Brooklyn Nets. Somehow these guys are staying in the playoff race. They traded away all their stars. Ben Simmons has pretty much been shipped back to Australia. -3.5, -160 on the money line. Total 218.5. Talk about these Philadelphia 76ers. That is a dog that I think is barking. Go ahead.
Yeah, they look good, and they're starting to click at the right time. So, yeah, Sixers are a dog bargain. Big time.
Now, when you talk about the Philadelphia 76ers, total against the spread, 47-34. Brooklyn, 41-36, tied the spread twice. Now, Philadelphia's got a bit better record at 53-28. Brooklyn, again, scraping into those Eastern Conference playoffs with 45 wins. So when you talk about it from that perspective, these two teams coming in to the playoff picture, they're talking about Brooklyn possibly at that number 6 seed. This could be an Eastern Conference first-round playoff matchup. Right now it's projected on NBA.com to have Philadelphia versus Brooklyn. So that's why I like this game. Interesting for this particular Easter Sunday. I do like Philadelphia in this game. They've got a very, very solid team. The matchups are in the favor of the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, who's going to stop Embiid from Brooklyn? Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great matchup for the Sixers. I definitely go with the Sixers as well.
Very, very simple. We're giving it to you early. We ain't got to waste no time. My main man, Ron, third down, best bets. He's already telling you. Take the Philadelphia 76ers today, rotation number 541. Let's move down to another Eastern Conference game that has a little bit of playoff implications because you got the New York Knicks trying to hang on to that 5 spot. Don't want to slide down at the end of the season. These guys are going up against the Indiana Pacers today. Rotation number 544. The Knicks are at home, -8.5. That's kind of a big spread. A little bit worried about that with my New York Knicks. I mean, you know, you got Thibodeau, but he's focused on trying to get that thing going up in New York. Indiana Pacers coming in at 8.5 plus 280. Do you think the Indiana Pacers could maybe play a little bit of a playoff spoiler for the New York Knicks today, or is New York going to maintain their consistency and stay relevant in this playoff hunt? Because if you're talking about a team right now that is my biggest worry, it is the New York Knicks, because if you talk about their spread cover, 44-33, the Pacers right at about 500, 41-40. So you know the Pacers aren't going to the playoffs this year. But Ron, talk to me about these New York Knicks. Can you put money on them? Is this a team that -8.5 is going to be a valuable bet? Go ahead.
I don't like the spread. I like the Knicks in the game, but I really don't like that spread. That's a big spread, 8.5.
Go ahead.
I tell you, the Knicks are a really good team. When they're hot, they're hot. But they've had some moments, you know, where they've had some little funks. I think they're working out of it. They look pretty good lately. So,
well, they did lose to the Pelicans this past Friday. They lost to the Pelicans. They didn't have Julius Randle. He's got his ankle going bad for him again. Jalen Brunson had a hand in Mitchell Robinson. A little bit of load management. So do you think that going into today's game, R.J. Barrett is going to be back into the lineup? That's going to be the determining factor, because the Pacers do have a little bit of a good coach. They got Rick Carlisle. He's given more young players playing time to see that young talent out in Indiana. But, again, New York, a very, very big spread. Talking about taking them on the money line, plus 350. You guys know I do not like these expensive games. I think this could be a blow-up for you. So I'm not really liking this game. Total is 230. What do you think that total can do? Go ahead.
No, you know what? I don't think they're going to hit the total. I think they're going to go under that first one.
Ron, thank you so much.
I don't like that total.
Yeah, the total, I mean, that's just one of those tough games that you can watch for playoff implications, but as far as making money, might not be there. But this is a game you can make money with. And again, Ron, thank you so much for stopping by the big board today. Again, Ron, third down, best bets. Follow him on Instagram at RaiderHawk1. 3:40 p.m. Pacific time. This is another game. You know I like these back-to-backs. Phoenix Suns at home, rotation number 550, plus 11, plus 420 on the money line. Total is 225. They're going up against those L.A. Clippers, who had a game yesterday, but now on the road, -11, going up against these Phoenix Suns. Rotation number 549 for the Los Angeles Clippers. So again, you know I like those back-to-back matchups. Phoenix should be clicking, but plus 11, plus 460. Do you think this is a Western Conference team that can get you some cash a little bit early in this playoff race? Because you're talking about a Phoenix team that has Kevin Durant. Not sure if Kevin Durant's going to be on the floor today. Still might be resting a little bit of that shoulder issue that he had. But the Clippers on this back-to-back playoff run, do you think that Coach Tyronn Lue can get these guys going well? Because yesterday they didn't play that great of a team, but they are going against a strong Phoenix team. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't see the Clippers doing it back-to-back. Those back-to-back games are tough in the NBA. I definitely think Phoenix has got this game today.
Take them in the points. If you're not scared, take them money line. Again, I do like rotation number 550. The Phoenix Suns plus 420 on the money line. It's a home dog that's barking. Could be able to put some cash in your pocket. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Ron, third down, best bets. Now, let's talk a little bit about your Lakers before we go. I just see them on the line here going up against that tough Utah Jazz team. Lakers, minus 16.5, minus 1,800 on the money line. Very, very expensive. Total 231.5. Do you think Utah can play spoiler again against the Lakers? But that's in a back-to-back, and these guys are on the road in L.A. Plus 16. Do you think these guys can get inside of that spread? Utah Jazz, go ahead.
Not today. I think the Lakers are going to take it. Lakers are clicking right now. They're smelling the playoffs. LeBron's healthy. Gingerbread's healthy. Things are good in Lakerland right now.
Well, that's what we're talking about, Ron. Third down, best bets. Telling you, get on that rotation number 556, the L.A. Lakers. Now, this time, Ron, any shout-outs before we get you out of here? You guys are going to want to stay locked and tuned to KSHP AM 1400. Got my main man, Scotty, Beam Him Up Webb, coming back in for some baseball picks. But again, Ron, thank you so much. We'll get your shout-outs, and then we'll get out of here for you. Go ahead.
Yes, I have to mention Kayla. She couldn't be here today. She has a toothache. And, of course, my usual shout-out, American Cancer Society. I want to mention it every time. Let's get out there. Let's make donations. Let's get involved, everybody. Let's fight this thing.
All right, VSX Digital Sports Network's contributor, Ron, third down, best bets. Thank you so much for stopping by. The big board today, when I come back from this short commercial break, got my main man, Scotty, Beam Him Up Webb, East Coast Sports Investors, MLBDaily.com for those Major League Baseball picks to put cash in your pocket for your Easter, Passover, and Ramadan season. So again, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Stay tuned, AM 1400, KSHP.com, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. It's time to grab your bankroll, hit the window, and beat the line. Let's get it.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease. Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
Vegas Scoreboard Express, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 6 on AM 1400 KSHP North Las Vegas. Online at KSHP.com.
Whether you're a corporate executive, on a family vacation, or just passing through, St. George Inn & Suites will meet your specific needs. It's conveniently located near restaurants, shopping, and movie theaters. St. George Inn & Suites offers a variety of room types, 2 fabulous pools and jacuzzis, a fitness center, a free full hot buffet breakfast, and laundry facilities. To make your booking, call 435-673-6661 or book online at stgeorgeinnhotel.com. You need to stop in Southern Utah? Make that stop at St. George Inn & Suites.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
If you need help, hang up and then dial the operator.
You're listening to the boss of the big bar.
If you have money, you can buy anything.
JB the Ticket.
Fire, more heat.
Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
That's right, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Back at you live, KSHP AM 1400. Waking you up early in the morning every Saturday and Sunday. Right here, KSHP.com, VSX Digital Sports Network.com, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Talking the sports betting, all money, all sports, no bull. Glad to be back with you this Easter Sunday. If you got money, you can get anything. And right now on the line with me to talk about getting some money this baseball season, my main man, Scotty, Beam Him Up Webb from the East Coast Sports Investors and MLBDaily.com. Scotty, how you doing?
I am doing great, JB. It's great to be here on Easter morning with you, my friend.
Thank you so much. And again, you guys, I hope you're having a great Easter morning listening to Vegas Scoreboard Express live here on KSHP AM 1400. Getting you up early in the morning to give you the picks that you need to be successful. So, again, Scotty, thank you so much for stopping by the big board. Want to talk to you about this Major League Baseball yesterday. I took quite of a bath in Major League Baseball yesterday. Took a lot of dogs. Animal Control was on patrol. Couldn't quite seem to find where the cash was. But you are back on the line today. Hopefully get some great advice for myself and for my listeners out there, because yesterday, I'm telling you, it was a cash rain out from the wallet. Did not pull down as many wins that I thought. So hopefully better luck today. So early on in this baseball season, only about 7, 8, 9, 10 games in so far. What do you see coming out of the season as a big theme? You've seen all of these rule changes. You got the clock is killing people at the bases, man. That's what was killing me on Friday. Guys getting called out on basically a hit clock, a pitch clock. I was like, oh my goodness, trying to speed up the game. Then you've got the bigger bases. We've already seen so far earlier on in this season, looking at some statistics, these guys are already stealing about 15% more bases early on in the season. So it's really kind of changing the line here a little bit when you talk about some of these rule changes. So, Scotty, I wanted to get your perspective on what you've seen this Major League Baseball season, because some of these changes are having a significant effect on the game, especially in the batter's box and on the pitcher's mound. Go ahead.
Well, I think there's two changes that have made the game change the most, and the first one, obviously, the pitch clock, because the whole idea was to get the game moving, and I like it. I mean, I personally like the idea that the games are now watchable on TV. You don't have these guys standing around, roaming around the mound and kicking the dirt, and doing all the stuff in between pitches, and everybody, and then. So I think the game moving is good. Now, old guys like me will remember this. Back in the early '80s, the time of games were like this. They moved under 3 hours. So it was just natural the way they played. And then all of a sudden, they didn't enforce rules, and certain things happened, and the games got longer and longer. But So that's the number one rule of things, and I guess certain pitchers are going to have to get used to it, see where it goes. And I guess the other biggest thing is when playoffs come, those are pretty pressure-packed moments, and those guys having to jump on there and get on the hill real quick. I don't know. Part of the delay in the game sometimes builds the drama when the guy gets the big hit or they get the big strikeout, and then that makes that more I guess, romantic in your mind of what happened in the playoffs. So we'll see. And then the second one, in due respect to what you were saying about the bigger bases and the stealing, it's really the throw-over rules. So the throw-over rules now are that you can only throw over to a runner twice. You can't keep continually throwing over and throwing over and throwing over. So when you throw over there the first time, okay, you just do whatever to kind of hold the guy on. Then you throw over there the second time. You better try to get him out, because you can't throw over there again. Now, if you throw over there again and you don't get him out, he gets second base. So,
wow, that's a big change, man.
Well, the idea with that is that you got pitchers, they sit there and throw the ball over there and over there and over there and over there, 5 times,
right?
Like 5 times in a row. So they wanted to stop all that, so they did. So that creates an opportunity just in terms of circumstance for base runners, meaning that, okay, they've thrown over there once. There's not a good likelihood they're going to throw over there again. And if they do throw over there a second time, they ain't sure as heck ain't going to throw over there, so they might as well get as big a lead as they want and take off.
Man, I'm telling you. Now, do you think that could affect maybe the pinch running? Because I do know that a lot of these teams may start bringing in just these speedsters, maybe not even putting them on a hitter roster. You know what I mean? Because if you can only throw over there twice, I mean, that's a really, really big change. So from a strategy standpoint, with hitters on base late in the game, do you think they're going to start pulling in more pinch runners? Go ahead.
Absolutely. I think there's going to be a need for little fast guys, if you want to call them that.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like, they may not be able to hit, but they got wheels. They're gonna have a job, because getting to second base is an important thing. And we didn't even talk about the shift rule, right? The shift, you can't do the shift anymore. So So think about that. The first batter gets on, he gets a walk, saying he's one of those big slugger guys and he can't run, and he got bad knees or whatever, but he can hit home runs. So he gets on base, and then they put in a pinch runner for that guy, a little fast guy, and that little fast guy steals second base. And then all of a sudden, you got a left-handed hitter up who hits the ball in between first and second base, which couldn't do last year because they had 4 guys over there. And now all of a sudden, you got that guy from second base scoring on a walk, and then that's where I think the game is going to change. And what I mean by change is that's going to make it more fun. I mean, it's more fun to watch people actually do things and play athletic baseball than it is to sit there and watch them go station to station, a single to single or a single to single, So I think the game is in a much better place. And if you look at all the media outlets that are reporting, the viewership is up almost 15-20% right now. The stadiums, even down here in Tampa Bay, where we can't get people to go to the games, they got more people in there watching the Oakland A's play than I've ever seen in my life.
Wow!
I mean, they had 19,000, 20,000 people in there yesterday. That's a lot.
Scotty, beam him up, Webb. East Coast Sports Investors. Follow him on Twitter at Webby20MLB, MLB-daily.com. So, Scotty, let's get a few picks in here for you today. And, again, you guys can watch these games on Fubo TV. Thank you so much for stopping by the big board, giving you that grease, telling you what's going on in baseball. This guy's a walking pack of baseball cards, people. He's going to be able to put wins in your pocket. Check out his website, his sports betting newsletter packages, all the good grease. He's going to be on each and every week. And if he's not on, you can definitely check him out over at the East Coast Sports Investors. My main man, Jeff Dawson, doing the Breakfast Bankroll Midday Report. You guys can follow these guys over at ESCIFF, something like that. I know you guys are doing that over on Twitter. But let's talk about a couple of these picks today. A couple of interesting notations. Let's talk about it down in Tampa Bay. You guys got the Oakland A's. Pretty hapless so far, 2-6 overall. Last 10 games, not really doing too much on the run line as well. 3-5, rotation number 965, going up against your Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay pretty expensive today on the money line at minus 295. The total 4 runs, 7.5. What do you think is going to happen on this one, Scotty? Go ahead.
Well, I think the only way you can play this game, if you wanted to play this game, is you have to bet the Rays. I mean, the Rays, they're 8-0. They've won 8 straight games, and every one of those 8 games they've won by more than 4 runs. So they're not only beating teams, they're dominating teams. Now, I will say this in defense of trying to not get over crazy about the Rays. The Rays have played the Detroit Tigers and the Oakland A's. So they haven't played the best quality of teams at this point, but you play who's in front of you, right? So I think the better way to think about this too is when you're going to go that direction, you better play them on the run line, just to help yourself a little bit. And I think what are the Rays on the run line today? They're minus 1.5, minus 152, and that's not a bad bet.
That's what I'm talking about. Moving again to the American League East. Talking about these New York Yankees, rotation number 967, minus 150 on the money line. Total on the runs is 8. Baltimore, the Orioles, rotation number 968, plus 130. Who do you think is going to be able to get over the hump in this game? You've got a New York Yankees team 5-3. Baltimore hanging in there early in the season, 500 at 4-4. Do you think Baltimore can make a little bit of home dog magic today? Go ahead.
Well, I like Baltimore. I mean, as a team, I think that they have a really good young offense, and I think that they're going to compete. And like last year, they were coming down the stretch and really surprised people. And this year, they're not a surprise, but I think they're just going to get better and better as they go along. But I don't like the matchup today. I think Cortez is one of those pitchers that makes it pretty tough on young kids. He's got a herky-jerky motion, and he's just kind of goofy out there on the mound. So if I'm playing this game, I like the way the Yankees look today, and Wells, this Tyler Wells is pitching for Baltimore today. He stepped into a situation last time out, so one of the pitchers got hurt for Baltimore, and he jumped in and filled in that role. He was supposed to start the next night, so he moved up. And now he's on a little bit extra rest, and I don't really like pitchers on extra rest. They need to stay on the regular rotation. So I like Cortez in this matchup. And Yankees seem to be doing all right now, hitting the ball. Other than they have Judge, who's doing great, but they also have 3 or 4 other guys who are hitting over the number right now, over the average. So I like the lineup here today, and I think that Cortez is going to be the guy that shuts down the Baltimore offense a little bit.
That's my main man, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb. Again, follow him over on Twitter, Webby20MLB, MLB-daily.com. Happy Easter to you, Scotty. Thank you so much for stopping by. Any shout-outs before we get you out of here? Get you enjoying your Easter Sunday, Easter baseball lineup. Tons of games. You guys check them out on Fubo TV, FuboTV.com/JB. Scotty, go ahead.
Yeah, well, just shout out the idea that, baseball is back. I think baseball, if you can get into it early right now, I think you're going to find that it's going to be an amazing season. I think the World Baseball Classic kicked it off really well. And I think this is going to be one of those seasons where, man, if you miss it, it's going to be heartfelt.
Scotty, beam him up, Webb, from the East Coast Sports Investors, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. When I get back at Parnell St. True, SportsPSP.com on the line with you, hooking you guys up with some more NBA. Parnell St. True, follow him on Instagram at SportsPSP. And again, thanks to my main man, Scotty, beam him up, Webb. East Coast Sports Investors, follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Webby20MLB. That's WEBBIE 20MLB. And, of course, his website, MLB-daily.com. So you guys keep it locked and stay tuned. Getting ready to finish out the show with some more grease. My main man, Parnell St. True. Hopefully he's getting ready to get on the line with us here. And you guys stay on the dial with us, AM 1400, KSHP, JB the Ticket. You know what time it is. Time to get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JBTHETICKET. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Vegas Scoreboard Express, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 6 on AM 1400 KSHP North Las Vegas. Online at KSHP.com.
This football season, stay in the game with Fubo TV. Over 100 live channels, including NFL Network, NBA TV, and FS1. Don't miss any of the action. Get 7 days free on us at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
STN Sports is the only sports betting app you need this season. STN Sports has it all. In-play betting, mobile parlay cards, the Play Plus card to fund and withdraw from anywhere in Nevada, and the latest lines on every game. STN Sports even lets you earn rewards on every bet. Safe and easy betting from your phone or tablet. Go to StationCasinoSports.com or sign up at any Station Casino, Fiesta Wildfire, or the El Cortez. Details at the Sportsbooks.
The Farmer's Burger from Farmer Boys. Beef, bacon, cheese, hand-smashed avocado, and fresh veggies. Best burger champ. That's how we drop the mic. Farmer Boys. Farm food ain't fast food. Farmer Boys' new always crispy fries stay crispier and tastier all the way home. If they make it home.
Sharing is caring.
Farmer Boys. Farm food ain't fast food.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
If you need help, hang up and then dial the operator.
You're listening to the boss of the big bar.
If you have money, you can buy anything.
JB the Ticket.
Fire, more heat.
Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Vegas Scoreboard Express, JB the Ticket, back on the line with you, giving you the grease. Waking you up early this Easter Sunday morning. Happy Easter to all the folks out there celebrating a happy Passover weekend. Ramadan season for all my listeners here and around the world. Again, you're rocking with the boss of the Big Board, JB the Ticket. Got a special guest back on the line with us for the second week in a row. My main man, Parnell St. True from Sports PSP. You can follow him on Instagram and YouTube at Sports PSP. All the way calling in from the East Coast, New Jersey. Good morning to you, Parnell. How is everything back east, and happy Easter to you?
Happy Easter to you too, man. Everything's going wonderful.
I am so glad to have you back on the line. Again, you guys check out his content. This guy covers all money, all sports, no bull, giving you the inside grease. So just to go ahead and jump into it, going to be doing a little bit more NBA talk with you today. You had an interesting piece that you sent me over yesterday that you put out about the Dallas Mavericks. Now, you know these guys did not make it to the playoff. The Dallas Mavericks are now allegedly going to be investigated by the NBA for possibly tanking. I don't think it had anything to do with tanking. I just think that the team wasn't that great this year. But Parnell, talk to me about it because you had an interesting take on Luka Doncic. You know, he's been the big star down in Dallas, but you've got some information about what he's been doing that may say, you know what, he didn't do enough this season. I don't think they tanked. Go ahead.
Well, I just don't think he hasn't done enough, particularly on the defensive side. And he has even admitted that he doesn't play enough defense. And now there are even reports that he wants to be out of Dallas. But I hold Mavs owner Mark Cuban most of the blame because of all the trades. And look, he also blamed Jalen Brunson's father for not signing Jalen Brunson. That's on him at the end of the day.
Yes, Parnell St. True. Follow him on Sports PSP, giving you the breakdown on those Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, there's been a lot of trouble down in Dallas. I'm not quite sure what happened after the Dirk Nowitzki era, but they haven't been able to get back to championship form. But we're talking NBA playoffs today. Again, rotation number Philadelphia, 541. The 76ers, I know you had some information on them a couple of days ago. You guys got to follow this young man over at Sports PSP, man. He's dropping grease pretty much every single day. Now, these guys are going against the Brooklyn Nets. Now, the Philadelphia 76ers, rotation number 541 on the road today, +3. You got Brooklyn, 542 is their rotation number, -3. How do you think that Brooklyn can be the favorite at home today? I mean, this playoff picture, the Eastern Conference has got both of these teams projected going against each other at the 3 and the 6. Rotation number, again, 541 for Philadelphia, 542 for Brooklyn. So what do you see here? Because I think the Philadelphia 76ers are kind of on a roll and getting into good form at the end of the season and coming together at the right time. But what do you see, Parnell? Go ahead.
I see the 76ers winning the series against the Nets by at least 5. I believe Brooklyn might steal a game, but that's about it. I just think that the interior in Brooklyn is going to have an awful lot dealing with the monster in Joel Embiid, who's going to win the MVP when it's all said and done. Hopefully, James Harden, we got to wait and see what he does come playoff time because we all know historically he's had some bad moments. Tyrese Maxey, making sure that he's healthy. And, of course, a lot of pressure is going to be on Doc Rivers as well and Embiid. So I think that the Philadelphia 76ers, they're going to make it to the conference semis, and that's about it.
All right, moving right along to another team here in the Eastern Conference, the number 1 seed going up against the possible well, these guys aren't even in the playoffs, but we're talking about the Atlanta Hawks, rotation number 535, going up against the Boston Celtics, rotation number 536. Now, the Boston Celtics, again, have been back in good form. The Atlanta Hawks in trouble. Trae Young once out. Do you think Boston -6 today and going forward with that number 1, number 2 seed, if they can eke out a couple of more wins and possibly get up under Milwaukee, they're going to have an easy road going up against whoever's the 7th seed. But in today's game and going forward, do you think Boston is going to be another strong team to contend with in the Eastern Conference? Go ahead.
Without question, because of what they do, particularly on defense, the scoring duo of Tatum and Brown, also Marcus Smart with his defense, they're definitely going to take care of business in Atlanta. Atlanta is just a mess right now. So I definitely see Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals competing with Milwaukee, though.
Milwaukee, these guys are balling hard. Again, I think these guys are on the line today. They are going up against a possible play-in team, the Toronto Raptors, trying to get back to playoff form after winning that championship with Kawhi, who's now on the Clippers in the Western Conference. We'll talk about that one right before we get off the air with you. But Eastern Conference, Milwaukee, rotation number 529. The Bucks are on the road going up to the Tundra, rotation number 530. -3.5 for Toronto. Interesting to see Toronto as the home favorite today when you got the possible number 1 playoff seed coming in. So what do you think about the roster for Milwaukee? Are they going to be resting players today since they've already locked up that number 1 seed? Do you think you'll even see Giannis get on the floor? And do you think it's an opportunity today, if you do want to go with Milwaukee? Milwaukee does have a money line bet today of plus 145. But where do you see the Bucks going in this playoffs and today's game? Go ahead.
Raptors are probably going to win this one. I see Milwaukee resting their players, making sure that they're ready come playoff season time. Nothing else.
All right. So you're telling him go with the Toronto Raptors. Rotation number 530, minus 165. That's not too expensive on the money line. I like that. The Toronto Raptors, if they are at home, take them to win it. I don't really like that point spread. It could still be close. Some of these bench guys wanting to get more minutes in the playoffs for Milwaukee. And then going ahead and rounding it out today, going back to the West Coast, L.A. Clippers. Very, very interesting game today. L.A. Clippers, rotation number 549 at the Phoenix Suns, rotation number 550. Talked about this one with my main man, Ron, third down best bets. But now, Parnell, I want your take on it. Two of the more premier teams in the Western Conference. Big spread today for Phoenix to cover it. Not sure if Durant's going to be on the floor, but the Clippers are coming off of a back-to-back yesterday, winning at home versus the San Antonio Spurs. But you're talking about these guys going forward into the playoffs. What do you think you're going to see out of the Clippers? And if you got anything on the Phoenix Suns, go ahead.
If the Clippers can stay healthy and hopefully Paul George.
And excuse me, yesterday the Clippers beat Portland at home. But go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you.
No, it's all good. I just think with the Clippers, it all depends on Kawhi Leonard's greatness. Russell Westbrook, if he can give you some consistency performances, and also X factors like Terrence Mann stepping up, as well as Ty Lue making adjustments. Phoenix, if you look at this roster, if healthy, they could actually come out of the West. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be challenging, but it's going to be a hell of a series.
That's what I'm talking about. I like the Phoenix Suns in this game. Again, you guys can watch these games over on Fubo TV. Take rotation number 550. I like them in the points. It's playoff implications, and these guys got to show up and show out. And if you're not scared, take them money line. Pretty big money line for the Phoenix Suns today. I think these guys could be able to put some cash in your pocket if they get lucky at plus 415. So again, my main man, Parnell St. True, thank you so much for stopping by the big board. You got any shout-outs before I let you get out of here, my friend?
Just check me out, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, folks. Check out Sports PSP. I'll come up with as much content as possible. And as always, man, thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much, Parnell. We appreciate you stopping by the big board. Happy Easter to you. All you people out there in Radio Land, JB the Ticket coming back from this short commercial break and signing off and getting you over to your Easter. It's Easter Sunday, Passover weekend, Ramadan season. You guys know what time it is. Get that good grub at sundown and get that money early in the morning. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. We'll be back in a second. Grab that bankroll. Get paid.
You're listening to the boss of the big boy, JBTHETICKET. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Happy Easter, everybody. Getting ready to get up out of here. Again, you guys can watch these games over on Fubo TV. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. It's time to enjoy your holiday weekend. Vegas Scoreboard Express back next weekend with more information, more grease. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big boy, JBTHETICKET.
The world-famous radio shopping show weekdays on 1400 KSHP North Las Vegas and KSHP.com.